If you've ever been compared to a fairer sibling, or a cousin, or a friend, or have ever been called karupu or kala, which means black, it's time we talked about why. Growing up in India, I don't think there was even a single family that didn't hear comments like, "Oh, she's the darker one. Don't go play out in the sun. You'll get even more darker." When you hear these comments, you hear that something about you needs fixing. I was an athlete in school and had practice every single morning. My mum hated seeing me practice in the sun because she thought that would darken my skin. And she would possibly feed me anything that she believed would lighten my skin. I remember drinking loads of beetroot and carrot juice as a child. And there's this one instance that stays with me forever. I still remember there was this particular occasion when my relatives were going through my childhood pictures, and there was one comment made where they said, "Oh my God, you really looked dark." And it wasn't the comment that hurt me, it's the way it was said. As if being dark is something to apologize for, it is something to hide or something to fix. And I questioned myself for years. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that came across this comment. Whether you're from India or Sri Lanka or any southern parts of Asia, I know many of you would have heard similar comments. So this made me question why. Why are we so obsessed with fair skin? And was India always like this? Then I started researching. I recently watched this video called The History of Colorism in India by The Emissary, which made me realize that the story is much more complicated than I had actually imagined. Ancient India did not always define beauty through fairness like modern society often does. Some of the most revered figures in Indian mythology were described as dark. Krishna's name itself is associated with darkness, and Rama and Krishna were traditionally portrayed with deep blue or dark complexions. Their dark complexions were not presented as flaws, they were celebrated as beautiful, powerful, and divine. The same can be seen in the portrayal of women. Draupadi, one of the central women in the Mahabharata, was also called Krishna, meaning the dark complexioned one. Yet, she is repeatedly described as exceptionally beautiful, captivating, and powerful. Ancient murals, including those at Ajanta, also show gods, royalty, and ordinary people across a wide range of brown skin tones. Darkness was visible in sacred art. It was not automatically treated as something that needed to be hidden, corrected, or lightened. But look at how these figures are represented today. Rama and Krishna are often turned bright blue rather than visibly dark-skinned, and Draupadi, once celebrated as a dark and extraordinarily beautiful woman, is now frequently portrayed on television and in films as very fair, with perfectly sculpted features and a sharply defined jawline. This raises an important question. If our stories allowed dark skin to be beautiful, divine, and heroic, when did we really begin rewriting that beauty to fit a fairer ideal? Historians do not point to a single event. Instead, many argue that beauty standards gradually changed over centuries with shifting royal codes, European colonialism, and then advertising. Together, these influences helped shape an idea that lighter skin represented beauty, status, and privilege in different contexts. Then came an entire industry built around fairness. Fair and Lovely, fairness creams, skin whitening, skin lightening soaps, advertisements promising confidence, success, jobs, and marriage if your skin became lighter. All these messages somehow became part of everyday life. Cinema has also played a role. Tamil cinema in particular has often been criticized for casting lighter skinned heroines who don't reflect the diversity of Tamil women. And I don't mean to say that every Tamil film is like this, but that's a conversation that's been happening for years. Maybe that's one reason I fell in love with Malayalam cinema. I wasn't just looking at movie stars, I was looking at people who reminded me of home. Watching actors like Nimisha Sajayan and others felt refreshing. They looked like women that I had grown up around. They looked familiar, real, and natural. Then seeing Simone Ashley, a dark-skinned Tamil woman, become the romantic lead of the Bridgerton series felt equally powerful. Because representation matters. Not just because everyone has to look the same, but every little girl deserves to grow up seeing someone similar like her being portrayed as this beautiful, desirable, worthy of being the main character. When I moved to the UK, for the first time in my life, people complimented my skin. While I had spent years trying to not get even more darker, I saw people paying money to tan their skin. And that completely changed the way I saw myself. I realized that beauty standards are not universal and it is learned and it can change. Now, I'm not making this video to blame my family or the society. They inherited these ideas too. I'm making this because I don't want another child growing up believing that lighter means better. Whether your skin is fair, dark, dusky, brown, remember, your worth is never measured by its shade. So you don't need a fairness cream, you don't need society's approval. You only need to realize something I wish I had understood years ago. You were never the problem. The beauty standard was. If this story resonated with you, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. Ta-da!